call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello you degenerate fucks, and welcome to The Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday the 20th of January, just here with another episode. Looking back at a couple of winners I got last week, also my bets for this week, and after a few weeks away I have managed to get a nap this week. It is a good one. It's by Gary Dock. I'm sure most of you know Gary if you're in the betting community. He's not a tipster, but he puts up a lot of bets. He's got very good success rate. His over bets, I'd say his over 2.5 bets is what he's known for, that on his bet builders, but he's picked the treble for me today of overs, so we'll get to that later. A couple of other things just a bit of going to talk about, but I'll do that towards the end. So first, just let me run through last week, which was a pretty successful week, but also a frustrating week because I had a number of bets that fell agonisingly close. But I'll go through the bets anyway. So I did a bet on an early bet. Newport Harrogate over 2s was up. Both teams to score in the Luton Bournemouth game, up. Blackburn to win, up. And then the one that beat it was I did Chelsea in the City game, both teams to score and over 2.5, and obviously it was 1-0, so that beat that. Again, it wasn't that close because obviously it was only 1-0, but Chelsea not scoring a lot of goals at the minute, so that kind of ruined that. I think if Chelsea had scored, City would have went and scored again. City were just keeping the ball and just playing out the clock. The worst bet that I did on Saturday was the overs bet. That's probably one of my worst this season. So I had Accrington Stanley Sunderland, that was beat. Fleetwood Rotherham beat. Wimbledon Morecambe beat. Newcastle Watford beat. The only one that was up was Portvale Swindon, so that was a bit disappointing. But obviously I did manage to get my main bet up, which was cashed out for £4 less than full amount, but I wasn't taking any chances. So it was Chesterfield who won, Wigan who won, Tranmere who won, Mansfield who won, and Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough was the dodgy one. They were, I think, 1-0 down. No, they were 1-0 up, then I went 1 each, and then they scored, I think it was the 92nd minute or something, so bit of luck there. That won £138, so that was pretty good. Then on the evening bet, this was very, very frustrating, and I did manage to get a small bit of a win because I covered it towards the end of the game. So what the bet was Egypt to win, Bruges to win, Juventus to win plus over 1 goal in the game, Leverkusen to win, and they were 6-4, which was a great price. Both teams to score and over 2.5 in the Villa United game. Obviously it finished 2-2, and then PSG to be over 2.5 goals, and it was 1-2. It was the worst price basically. I think that in Egypt were both 4-9, 1-2, so not the best odds. And they were 1-0 at half time, so I thought I'll let it run. But then it went 2-0, and I thought, right, okay, this is up. But there was just something in the back of my head telling me this is going to stay 2-0. So I managed to get on, and I think I put like £15 or £17 that I had in my account on no third goal, and it ended up getting 40. So I won about £22, £23 because it obviously stayed 2-0. So disappointing, but at the same time, when you add that to the 138, now you're talking about over 160 in profit, which for any Saturday you'll take that. So that was that. Then Sunday again, I only did one bet. I kind of did two bets. I did a £7 6-timer, and then there was a few teams that I also fancied. Like I fancied Stoke to be a draw, and I fancied Roma, and a couple of other ones that were low price. So I ended up doing like a big 9-fold of the 6 teams that I already picked in my main bet, and then I added those in and stuck, I think it was £2.90 or something that I had in my account again, change. So of the 6, I had West Ham and Leeds over 2s was up, Lyon to win was up, Madrid to win up, Valencia and Ajax were both early on Sunday to win up, and the one that beat me, it went on to Atalanta and Inter on Sunday night, and it was 0-0, had that overs. So I was disappointed. Again, very, very close, but at least I got a sweat. Also on, I think it was Saturday or something, it was Sunday, I had a small horse bet. I think I had a couple of horse bets over the weekend. I had a free £1 bet in Ladbrokes, and I put it on a horse that went at 12-1. So that was another bit of a profit. It was a 13-2 horse that was tipped on Sunday. And I think I had a £4 or £5 on that, and that won 20 odds. And then there was a special on Virgin Bet for Jared Bowen to have a shot on target in the first half against Leeds. He scored, so that was £30. So altogether, I think I counted it was in the region of over £200 in profit for the weekend. So, again, I am a bit frustrated that those other two bets didn't come in, or at least one of them, but at the same time, I won £200. I'm not going to complain. Just on those horses, I've said this before, and I said a lot on Twitter. There's a guy I follow, you call him Matt Brocklebank. He writes for the Sporting Life, and he does he calls value bets. So it's horses, that aren't the favourites, sort of bigger prices. And when I do back horses, which is very rarely, those are the horses I like to bet. I put small amounts on them. I'm not a big horsey guy. I like the big meetings, but if he tips sometimes if he tips stuff, I'll put it in a Yankee or I'll put it in a Lucky 15. Sometimes I do them straight, like I did with that one. I think it was called the Clare or something. It was 12-1. I had a free pound in my Ladbrokes. Thought, well, I'll put it on, and it won. So he also tipped the week before. I'd won a few quid on the horses. He tipped the 25-1 winner. I only had it in a Lucky 15, so I didn't get that much off it, but it was still £20 profit. So again, somebody to look out for. He's on Twitter, and you can, if you go to sportinglife.com and go to tips into the value section, you'll see his articles. So he writes for most of the big things, so it's definitely something worth looking at, because he is quite prolific, considering he's betting, sort of each way chances. So anyway, that's that. I'll move on to the nap. No, sorry. Before I go to the nap, let's look at the favourites and the games that were won at the weekend. So at the weekend there was 7 Premier League games, 3 favourites won. There was 2 draws and 2 outsiders. So not great there. In the Championship, 11 games, and as usual, only 4 favourites, 2 draws and 5 outsiders. In League 1, 12 games, 4 of each, 4 favourites, 4 draws, 4 outsiders. In League 2, 11 games, 7 favourites, 3 draws, 1 outsider. And then the National League, there was 3 games and all 3 favourites won. So in total that was 21 favourites, 11 draws and 12 outsiders out of 44 games. So again, we're under 50% there. So I'm feeling quite lucky that I managed to get 5 selections up. As we say, we like to keep that up. If that's about 60% or more, then you're doing well. So now I go on to the nap, and then unfortunately Gary wasn't able to record it for me today. He had meant to pick it last night and send me it, but he got caught up with something else, so he texted me them today and just gave me the 3 games that he fancies overs. So the 3 games are, there's 2 games in the Isthmian Premier League, which is a league that he's used before, I think in the nap that he got up for me. And if you look at his bets, he does bet in that league, so he seems to like that league for overs. So the 3 teams are, so 2 of them are from that. 2 of the teams are Worthing versus Hornchurch, which is 8-13. Lewis versus Brightlington C, Regent. Never heard of them. It's 4-11. And then the last one is, I think, the National League North. It may even be the National League South, but it's one of those lower leagues. And it's Dorking versus Absolute United. And it's 4-7. So combined together, that comes to about 2.4-1. So a tenner on that is paying £34. So I'm happy with that. That's sort of, that's in the round where you want it to be. Sort of 2-1 to 4-1 is where I like that nap to be. So he's right in the middle of it there. So that's the nap. That's last week. This week, my bets. So I've obviously went a game with the usual 5 teams to win, 5 overs. I'll just run through them. So first team is Wickham. Wickham are away to Morecambe. Form ways, Wickham are top of the league, Morecambe 21st. In the form, Wickham are 4th, Morecambe 17th. At home, Morecambe only 1 win in 5. Morecambe have only won 1 in 5 at home. Wickham have won 3 out of 5, including the last 2. They were beaten. They haven't played each other since 2017 when Morecambe won, but that's too long ago to worry about. So they are 17 to 20, which is 1.85 in decimal. Next is a team that I backed a lot at the start of the season because they were going well, but they had a bit of a blip there. But they seem to be back on now, which is Plymouth. Plymouth are at home to Lincoln. Now, form ways, they're basically 10th and 11th, so they're not great, but in the last 5. But Plymouth do have the 5th best home record, and in the last 5, they've two wins, 2 defeats, and a draw in the last 5. One of those was in the cup, but in the league games, they've won 3 out of 5 at home, and they won their last game at home. And the 2 that they lost away were against Wigan and Wickham, who obviously are the 2 of the top teams in the division. Lincoln's away record, 2 draws, 3 draws, a defeat, and a win. They did win their last game away to Sunderland, which was a shock. So can you see them really getting 2 big results in a row, away from home? I don't see that. So they are 5 to 6, which is 1.83. Next is a team sitting top of League 2, and that is Forest Green. They play Carlisle. I mean, not too much to talk about here. Talking about the team who's top and against the team who are 8th, 19th. Only worry in this is that Forest Green's form hasn't been great, and Carlisle are actually in pretty good form. I think that's why the price is what it is. I think it would be lower, but the price is 8 to 13, which is 1.62. If Forest Green were in better home form, that price would probably be 4 to 6. Maybe even lower, 4 to 6, 4 to 7, maybe even 4 to 9. But if you're looking at home form, so in the last 5, Forest Green are unbeaten. They had a draw in the cup, 2 and 3 wins in the league, and then 1 draw and another draw. So pretty good. Even though Carlisle are in good form, they've lost 3 out of 5 away from home. So most of their points seem to be coming at home. So that's that one. Next is into the National League, and it's a team who are going pretty well, and that's Boreham Wood, currently sitting 4th. Pretty good form as well. They're 5th. Home record, 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5. And Weymouth have only 1 win in 5 away from home. So they are 2 to 5, which is the lowest price in the docket, which is 1.4. And then lastly, in my local league, this was actually the first game that I picked, and it's Ballymena versus Warren Point. Now, Ballymena are currently 7th in the league, so they're not going great. Warren Point are bottom, but form ways, Ballymena 4th, Warren Point are 3rd from bottom. But what put me into this game was basically they've won 5 in a row at home, and they've won the last 3 against Warren Point at home. So to me, that's a pretty good omen. The price on that is 13 to 20, which is 1.65. So altogether, let me see what that came out to. That came out to basically 11.5 to 1. So that will tenner on that's going to pay 126. So I'm happy enough with that. The overs, we always know, I always say it, I know I always repeat myself, but it's just who scores goals against each other, who scores goals in general. So they are Stoke vs Fulham, 11 to 10, that's 2.1. Wigan Gillingham, 7 to 10, that's 1.7. Sutton Northampton, 11 to 10, that's 2.1. Dagenham Stockport, 4 to 5, that's 1.8. And Yeovil Wrexham, even money, 2.0. So that, I didn't calculate that one. I think that one is around 22 to 1. So that's basically the bets. That's that. looking ahead to next week. Next Tuesday night's a very big night. There's 5 championship games, 4 League 1, 4 League 2, 10 in the National League. There's an EFL Trophy, there's 4 games. Northern Ireland Premier League, 6 games. SPL and Scottish League 1 and 2, there's a game each. Wednesday, not so much, only 1 championship game. French League and some SPL. So Tuesday night's the big night. And while we're talking about midweeks, so I had said on Twitter that maybe I needed to rethink my midweek bets, because I don't know if I've had a midweek bet. I think I have had a midweek bet up, but a lot of the bets have been very, very poor midweek. So what I think I'm going to do is, unless there is almost a full fixture list where you're talking, you know, the guts of 20, 25, 30 games maybe to choose from, you know, I would say bare minimum 20. What I'm going to do is, because I do want to have a bet, I don't want to, you know, leave a whole night's football out. I've done this a few times, but I think I'm going to try and concentrate on doing it more. So, like, for example, I'll probably do a bet next Tuesday. So what do you have there? 5, what's that? 8, 13, 23, 27, 30. There's 35 or so games on the Tuesday. There's enough for a 5-fold, 6-fold, whatever bet there. You know, you're not being compromised by picking teams you don't really want to pick or selections you don't want because of the lack of fixtures. So you could get a bet that night. But say on Wednesday, you know, you're trying to thumb around to pick some sort of bet out of 8 games or whatever, picking leagues that you don't like and maybe whatever. So what I think I will do is, if that's the case, I will pick 1 or 2 teams on the Wednesday, maybe pick some teams on the Thursday, even the Friday. So let the bet run for 2 to 3 days. You know, if there's one selection you fancy that night, that's all I'm picking. If it's 2 the next night, that's all I'm picking. You know, and if it ends up being a 4 or 5 time, 6 time, or whatever it may be, that runs from Tuesday to Friday or Wednesday to Thursday or Tuesday to whatever it may be in that midweek, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because at the end of the day, if you only pick 1 team or 2 teams, you're still sweating on something. You know, you still got a game to keep you occupied and keep you interested in the football. But that way you're not just throwing money away just because there's football on. You know, picking a 5-timer or 2-5 or whatever it may be. Now, obviously in the weeks where there is a lot of fixtures, then I'll do a bet both nights, Friday or Wednesday on Thursday, or Tuesday on Wednesday, and maybe Thursday, especially when the Champions League and stuff's on. But yeah, I've sort of said that's it. Unless there's around 20 games, I'm not picking a bet. I'm just going to pick a sort of rollover bet type thing, but put it all in one bet that's an accumulator and just try to sweat it in over the few days. So, anyway, that's it for this week. Just leaves me to say, if you are doing a bet this week, good luck. Oh, actually, hold on. There was one more thing. Aka Attacker, who some of you might know, some of you might follow, has asked myself on some other guys, Cash Bets, Zuni, Dutchy Tips, 90-minute Tips, Moneymaker, Zuni, to all get involved in a sort of a group where we all pick a team each, and then we do sort of a combined accumulator. So I'll be doing that probably this week for the next load of weeks to see how it goes. So you'll see those bets. You'll probably see me posting them and everybody else of who I've mentioned are posting them. So yeah, just look out for those. As I say, each selection will be selected by one of us, and we're just trying to build sort of a winning aggregate between us. So anyway, that is it. All it leaves me to say is, if you are doing a bet this week, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.